Okay, so this video is about understanding the major risk factors for gastric ulcers. So first of all, what's a gastric ulcer? It's defined as a mucosal erosion greater than or equal to 0.5 centimeters. Now, gastric occurring in the stomach. How are they caused? Well, basically, if you've seen my other videos or breathing or whatever, you know about the gastric mucosal barrier. So they occur when that barrier is broken and the gastric wall is injured by acids and enzymes. So the risk factors for this, the major ones are H.Plyori and NSAID use. And there's other smaller risk factors that are also worth noting, such as smoking. Smoking is bad. Okay. Alright, so first I'm going to talk about H.Plyori. Now, it's a bacteria. It's gram-negative, rod-shaped, and it's microphilic, which means it leads not much O2. So low O2, it's happy. What else is important about it? It has flagellum or flagella. I'll draw that as a tail, even though in bacteria they look kind of more like screws. So yep, that's what it is. Now, why is it bad? I think the easiest way would be to draw out the stomach and all that. So here is the lumen of the stomach. So low pH, or your acid, your food's there. Here's the mucus containing your bicarb and being very sticky, sticking to the cells, epithelial cells, and the important epithelial cells for this video are your mucus secreting cells. Mucus secreting cells. Yeah, cool. Alright, so H.Plyori. Let's draw it out. So rod shaped. Now, if it gets into the stomach, I have a noisy bird. Now, gets into the stomach. The first bad thing about it is that it can actually secrete something called urease. Now, what urease does is it converts urea to ammonia, NH3. Now, what this does is it's very alkaline, it's a base. It will increase the pH. Now, especially around the bacteria. So this is one of the things that allows the bacteria to live in the stomach and survive. Another thing which I've kind of tried to draw in white is that it has strong outer proteins, so it's tough. So that's important. The next important thing about it is another thing that is the flagellum. Now the flagella, which is drawn there, allows it to move. Yeah, which is not good. It can move to where it wants to be. Now the other bad thing that's very important to know is that these also secrete proteases, which are enzymes, which I'll draw in. They can be blue. So also, now what these do is they destroy the wall. They can break down this mucus, allowing the flagellum to get inside the mucus. Now this is a much nicer place for them to live. The pH is more around 7, so it's good. So they get in there, and we get lots of them. I'm trying to draw them like rods. And thank you to their flagella or whatever, screw, tail, flagellum, it allows them to move through the mucus, where they can actually attach to the mucus secreting cells, like that. Now, they actually also secrete and have on them something called adhesions, which allow them to stick to the mucus barrier. So there they are. I mean, not to the mucus barrier, to the cells. So there they are, stuck onto our mucus secreting cells. Now, this is bad because, as we talked about before, through urease they can produce ammonia. So this is a pH 7 environment, but ammonia is going to put it up, so that's going to increase the pH around there, and that's going to destroy the cells or damage them. It also secretes these enzymes, and that's also going to destroy the cells. You can imagine, and that's the main things. And all this causes inflammation. I'll draw in our blood supply now. There we go. So this all causes inflammation, which is not good. I'll write that down. Small mouse pad. There we go. Inflammation. So this is all your neutrophils, lymphocytes, macrophages, plasma cells, all that, which can damage the H. Plyori, but also damages the cells. So that's the main things. Now, some of these, some species or types of the H. Plyori also can secrete something called CAG, which, when inserted into the cells, also damages the cells. So there you have it. They can survive the harsh environment, get into the mucous membrane, colonize the mucus within the mucus, stick on the cells, cause inflammation, do local damage, insert your CAG AC, causing further damage. So you can see how through this process you're gonna cause an ulcer through all this. There we go, causing bleeding and that kind of stuff. So that's H. Plyori, and that's how that does it. Probably talking a bit slow, so I'll try and be a bit faster for NSAIDs. So now NSAIDs. What do they do? Well, again, I'll draw it all out really quickly. So there's the lumen, mucus, cells, and blood. Alright. So what the NSAIDs do, they kind of damage it in two ways. First way is their systemic effects. Now that blocks your prostaglandins, especially the COX-1. blocks your prostaglandins. Now, prostaglandins are really important for a few things, which I talked about in one of my earlier videos. So some of the things they do that's very important is they stimulate the blood supply. Which means that these cells, are getting more nutrients and all the stuff they need. It also increases mucus secretion, and along with that, bicarb, HCO3 minus. And they can also, apparently, they can have an effect on. I'll draw in here. None of this is very well drawn. They can also have effect on the parietal cells to decrease hydrochloric acid production. So that's what they can do. Another thing is that prostaglandins also stimulate the proliferation and replication of cells. So proliferation of mucus secreting cells. So that's what your prostaglandins do. That sounds quite important. NSAIDs, by blocking this pathway, by blocking the prostaglandins, reducing them, will decrease, will have the effect of decreasing the blood supply. They have the effect of decreasing the mucus secretion, which is very important. So you can see here there's less mucus. Decreasing mucus secretion. There we go. They decrease the HCO production. So that's going to increase the pH of the mucus, which is not good. Then also, if it's blocked, HCl decrease, they're going to increase the production of acid, so decreasing the pH. That should be a decrease back there. They decrease the pH of the stomach, and without it, the cells do not proliferate as well. So I'm just going to cross that one out and that one out. So you can see here, less cells, more acid, less mucus, less blood protection. All that is going to have a negative effect and is going to lead to an ulcer. Now the other effects, which are very, I'm not sure if they're, I don't think they're as important. I think the big effects from the systemic, but the local effects are definitely worth knowing about. So what are the local effects? Well, I'll draw my aspirin here in red. So this is our aspirin. Now it's actually a weak base, a weak acid. But in this already low pH environment, it doesn't it stays in its non-ionized form. Okay, and another thing that's important about it is that it is lipophilic. Now what this means is it allows the NSAID aspirin or whatever it is to actually get through the mucus and enter the cells. Change color. We'll pretend this is blue now. Where, actually no, I'll stick with red. So it gets into the cells where now it's in blue, turns into its ionized form. So that will cause damage to the cell, decreases your pH of the cell, and can cause damage to the cell, maybe causing apoptosis or death, and not making it secrete mucus as well. So it does that, and that's really important. Another thing it does, which the textbooks that I've read haven't explained very well, is that when it gets into the mucus, the NSAIDs can actually alter the mucus, and allowing H+ to flow back into the mucus, so decreasing the pH of the mucus. So local effects, kill cells / damage, alter mucus. There we go. And I think that's about it. Alright, so for smoking, not much room. This is going to be tough. Or is it? Dun, 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 dun. Smoking. How does that work? Mechanism unknown is what most textbooks say. There are theories. Some says that maybe by smoking it increases your risk of H.Plyori. Smokers generally, often psychology reports, anecdotal evidence, whatever, that they might experience pain more and that kind of stuff. So there's a theory that they might actually take more NSAIDs. And there's other theories that the smoking produces the free radicals, which also damage the cells. So that's smoking. Worth mentioning, but it's not very well understood how exactly smoking causes problems. So finish this off. All these problems from NSAIDs leads to ulcer. Yeah, smoking, same thing. Ulcer. There you have it. That's the major risk factors for gastric ulcers and how they work.